Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing stages 12 to 16 of the Fanhome release of Build the Michael Bay Optimus Prime.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Look, I've got a change in the workshop today. I've changed my cutting mat to black. Don't know how this is going to look, but I thought we'll give it a go. It is actually reversible, so I think I've got brown on the other side. But I thought it's about time that we update our work mat. So no marks on this one. I don't know how long that's going to last for, though. So today, I'm not actually sure what we're doing today, but if you remember before, we had built this gigantic foot looking like that, and we had started one of the joints for the leg there. So I'm guessing we're probably going to be building onto this today. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down in the video description and also on the screen with a QR code. You can scan that and let the folks know at Fanhome that you've come from the World of Wayne channel. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So stage 12 is where it's going to start, and here is the magazine. So let's have a flick through and see what we are actually doing in this stage. We are going to be doing the right leg, so we are still working on this here. A couple of armour pieces that are going to go onto this piece that I just showed you, so we're going to be adding that to that. So by the end, it's looking just like that. So let's get this open. Not many pieces in this one. To me, it looks like all of these pieces are actually going to be slotting. So we're going to be taking this blue piece here, and as you see, we've got two holes in there, which this is just going to push into. So let's line it up and push that into the holes. 1 and 2. And you heard it snap in there. That is not coming out again. That looks just like that. I like that. Okay, we're going to be putting these two lugs here and here onto these points just here. So let's line that up. And again, it's going to be a push in. So, using all my strength to get this in. One there. Make sure the other one's in as well. Perfect. So there, that's lined up perfectly flush on that side. That's in place. On this other piece here, we've got this indent section here, which I'm going to be pushing this piece in. All pushing. Again, no glue needed on this because that isn't coming out again. That's in place like that. And then the other 3 holes that we've got on this side here, again, we're just going to be pushing this in to make one side completed. I'm just going to line everything up here. There we go. And push this in. So that's in. And that looks just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 13. Here's the magazine. Again, flick through. And I'm guessing we're going to continue working on that leg. Yep, the right leg 4, loads of little pieces in here. So we're going to be creating a joint by the look of it. So we're getting all of this together here, adding some details. So by the end, it's looking just like that. It's a heavy bag. So I'm just going to lay out what we've got. We've also got in here, which I just noticed, a spanner, as you can see there. And just unwrapping all of this stuff here, most of this stuff is metal. It's really heavy. So we're going to have quite a weighty leg. So to start off with, we need this metal section here, which is actually the knee joint. And we are going to be putting the knee shaft through this side. It has got a keyhole pattern, so when it's in properly, that's going to fit flush in there like that. On the other side of it, we've got like this little gasket or washer, which is going to go into that point there. So it's sitting perfectly in that keyhole pattern there. And then this whole thing is going to go onto the leg side just here. Once again, I've got another gasket just to put into that bit there. And then I can put this in. Excellent. And it should come out the other side just like that. Now, I'm not attaching this at the moment. We're going to leave it like that and put that to one side. Because then I want to bring over this other metal section looking just like this. Now I have a nut here looking like that, which I need to slot in to the gap that we've got just there. So I'm going to slot that in so it sits nice and flush in there. And then I've got this top here, which is going to close all of that into place. And I'm screwing that together with NM screws into these 2 holes. Going into metal, so I've put some oil on this. That's 1. And that one's 2. So then I'm going to be taking this metal section here, and in these sections just down the bottom we've got some more of these washers, but smaller ones, which are going to go into the sections that you can see here. So one this side, like that. Hold it in place and put one in the other side as well. And then this whole section is going to go into this part that we just put the cap on here, just like this. If I get it in first, very hard to push in now we've got those washers in, but it's in. And now I just need to manipulate it so that I can see the hole all the way through. And what I'm going to be doing is putting this screw through, so I need a split washer. Then I need a normal washer, which looks like this. And that's going to go through the hole here. Making sure it goes all the way through like that. And then this is why they gave us a spanner to make this nice and tight. So I can put it in by hand as much as I can. Then I'm going to be using this to tighten this up. Make sure I've got the right side. And there we go. Let's get this all the way in. I am finding it easier to use my pliers to get this in nice and quickly. And then using the spanner to tighten it up. And there you go. That's in place. Perfect. Now at the top of this section, you see we've got a cavity for one of the larger washers, which I'm going to put in there. I'm going to be bringing over the leg again that we were working on. And then making sure, as I said, there's a washer in this side and this side. And I'm going to be piecing these two parts together. But when you do that, you've got to bear in mind that gravity is going to try and make those things fall out, but that is into place, no problems at all there. I want to hold this in with NM screws just through these two holes here. And there we go, that's held into place. So you see there's movement in that now. Excellent. Put that to one side again, and I'm going to be bringing over this piece here, which is going to have an inner pin, which looks like this, going over this side just here. Get that in, just like that. I need one of these MP screws, which is a flange screw there, and also a split washer to hold this into place here. Use my bigger screwdriver to get that in tight. Excellent. So this is going to go onto this point just there. And then once again, I'm going to be using a HM screw with a split washer. Now I think the reason we're using split washers is because we still want movement in these parts. So let's get this in, and then I'll just tighten that with my larger screwdriver here. As you can see, there's movement in that like that. Perfect. Now I've got a pin to put in, which looks like that metal pin, which is going to go into this point just there. And then in this bag I've got another shield plate that's going to be going in. It's actually going to be going onto this section like this. So the pin is going to go through both pieces. So what we want to do is put this in the middle here. And then pass this pin all the way through. Like this. Now I think I am going to need a little bit of percussive force for this. So I've got my hammer. As you can see, that's in. Looking just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That was quite an involved stage, that one, wasn't it? Okay, so stage 14. Here's the magazine. Let's flick through. And I'm guessing we're still continuing with the leg. We are. We've got some more parts to put on here now. Adding these to the leg, as you can see here. So by the end, it's looking just like that. And the first thing we're going to do is going to take this piece here. It's going to go with these two lugs on this side, straddling it. Probably best on the top camera to show you how this looks. And it's going to go in just like that there. That's going to be held in with one of these very long screws here. And we're going to be putting a nut on this side just there. So drop the nut in this way round. So I've got that sitting in there flat. Perfect. We want on this screw a split washer. And then a normal washer. Once again, get this into place. So again, this way round. I'm holding it with my finger once I've got this lined up like that. And then on the other side here, put the screw in. And then use the spanner to make that tight. Once again, I find it quicker to use my pliers to actually turn this. And then use the spanner just to give it a nice tight turn. This is actually going to stiffen up this joint. So you do want to make sure that this is tight. Perfect. So as you can see, joint's holding itself lovely there. Okay. Now, next piece we need looks just like that. That's going to go into the hole just underneath this section here. It has got a keyhole pattern. So that's in just like that. And it should sit behind this blue plate here. Like that there. Now you see we've got space here for some little washers again that we've still got left over from the last stage. I'm going to get those in. So one in this side. And one in the other side. And that's going to enable me to put this piece in, which is going to straddle those two pieces there. Oops, that's just fallen out. Let's put that back in. With obviously the marked side facing out. That will give some resistance when we are turning these pieces. Perfect. And that's in like that. And I'm going to want one of these long MP screws here just to hold that in. So get that through and screw that in. Perfect. Make sure that's quite rigid. It should be able to move, but be quite rigid there. This is what this is looking like at the moment. Quite involved, isn't it? Let's put that to one side. I now need this section looking like this. And I need this section looking just like this, which is just going to go into this like that. Whoops. Get it in. There. Just pushing in. And then in this tab here, I've got this metal bracket, which is just going to go into the center of this. Just like that. We have a tiny pin to hold that in. Now, one side of this pin is rough, so that's the side that goes in last. But I'm going to be putting that in here to hold all of that together. And once again, I'm going to use percussive force just on the side with my hammer to knock that into place. And as you can see, that's what it looks like when it's in place. Now, this plate that we had in here, we want to rotate this around so it's upright like that. Because I'm going to be putting this piece here just onto that lug right there. That's held in with a HM screw, once again with a split washer. And then we can put this part back down again, just like that. So now that's how that's looking. Put that to one side again. And now I need these two sections, which we're going to be piecing together. There is little lugs to help line that up for us. In this side here, I do have this wheel to put in. And again, this can only go in one way. So this is just a push in as well. So that fits in like that. And then in each of the ends here, we've got these split ends here, which we want to be tilted towards the middle. So they're going to go over the top. They are D-shaped pattern. So they can only go in one way. So one's going to go in, let me get this right. This way here, and they face in, as you can see there, and do the same on the other side. So that looks like that. And then this whole section is just going to fit over the two holes that we've got here and here. I think it's probably better to remove the screw here just to get this part in, and then I'll screw that back in there. Quite hard to get that in, but you see all of this has now got movement on it. But once that's in, it should look just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Here is stage 15. This is the penultimate stage of this pack. Guessing we're still working on this leg. And as you can see, oh, it's the looks like a wheel we're doing here. So we're going to be piecing a wheel together. So it's looking just like that. Can't remember if I need to put water in this, but we're going to find that out. Okay, so first thing I'll do is piece these rims together first. So basically just lining up all the holes here, just like that. And they're held in with IP screws. These are silver screws. Now I'm going to need to push this inside the tyre. I don't think I'm going to need to put this in water. I'm just checking. They are quite stretchable. But you know what? It is going to make your life easier. So I am just going to soak that into some boiling water. So as if by magic, I've soaking this into some boiling water here. Let me get a cloth. It's very easy to manipulate now. And then just push this in and you'll see what I mean. I can really stretch this over the rim like this. And it just makes your life so much easier. As you can see. Perfect. Okay, on this side here, I'm going to be putting the hub, which just presses into these holes. Like that. And then this whole thing is going to go into this shell on this side. Like that. So, it actually fits into, if I just take this out again, the grooves that we've got on the tyre here. So we do want to just match those grooves up when we push this in. So it will fit in nice and flush all the way around. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage here, flicking through the magazine, I guess we're going to be building onto that wheel we've just put on now. We've got the right leg. No, we've got some more armour plates that are going on the leg. So it's going to look just like that. We do get to attach the wheel as well. So the first thing I need is this section here. And I do have a bracket that I'm going to need to put in that. Now all of these brackets are metal, but I say it's a bracket. What it's going to do, once that's in there, it's going to create a ball joint on this side. So I need to hold this in just with some MP screws. So one there and one on the other side. I'm also going to be taking this hook bracket here, and that's going to be going down the centre here into this point, just like that. And this is held in with a QP screw from this side. So I have just made sure all the holes there are lined up, but I'll get that screwed all the way in. Bring over the leg again, and again it's this whole side that I want. This is going to be going on this side, and it's going to fit just onto the point just there like that. Once again, this is a HM screw of a split washer into this point here. Whoops. Keeps falling off my split washer, but I hold it with my finger, then that won't happen. Excellent. And there we go. That's that piece in there like that. Now we're going to start covering this up. So we've got these holes here first for this plate. So again, lining up the tabs, and it's just a push in like that. Make sure they're in all the way. Put that to one side. And then I've got this piece which are going to be attaching different pieces to it. So in this section just here, I have this detail, which has got a notch in it, so it can only go in one way. And it fits in like that. And then this section here is going to be fitting in this way, like that. And on this side, held in with an MP screw. I'm going to take that back out again. I'm thinking, the instructions don't tell you to. I'm thinking that might need a split washer as well. So I'm going to put one in anyway. The reason being is because it's too loose without it. I'm sure it's meant to be able to move, but not as much as it was moving then. I don't think it's going to hurt. As you see, that adds a bit more rigidity to it. So I have put a splish washer in there. If you don't do that, this is just going to flop around. It looks like that. Then you should see we've got two lugs here. It's going to go into this hole here and this one here. So just line up those, probably the bottom hole first. That will help you line up the top one. So then that can fit in perfectly, just like that. Looking good, isn't it? All we've got to do then, is just over where this ball joint is take the wheel we created, plug that in. So now that's in like that. And then as you see, we've got this gap here, and that's going to fit this last piece in place here. So I'm just going to line all of that up and push that in. You want to push it quite hard, so that's flush on there. But there you go, that's in place. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Very detailed. And you know what I'm like. I'm going to hold that up for you to see. That is the leg. Very heavy, mostly metal. So it's all good, isn't it? And obviously we've got moving parts all over the place. So Very good. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down here to the Fanhome website, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.